The void deck of Block 412 in Tampines was unusually quiet this morning. The usual group of retirees wasn't discussing the football scores or the cost of their soft-boiled eggs. Instead, four men were huddled around a single smartphone screen watching a frozen SGX ticker. At 10:14 a.m., the exchange triggered a circuit breaker. For the first time in years, the sea of red simply stopped moving. In the silence that followed, the fear in the air was thick enough to taste. Look, let's be honest, that fear is a rational response to a structural shock. When the market breaks, your brain tells you the floor has fallen out. You start wondering if your SRS contributions were a mistake and if your CPF life is the only thing standing between you and a very sparse retirement. Understand, this is exactly why we need a forensic lens. But here is the uncomfortable truth that the panic sellers forget. A market halt is not the end of the world. It is a forensic gift of time. It is a forced 10-minute window to stop being a reactor and start being an auditor. Right? As I write this to our 190 elite inner circle members, I want you to remember one thing. The ticker price is an opinion, but the balance sheet is a fact. While the retail crowd is panicking at the kopitiam, we are going to use this forced silence to audit the big three, DBS, OCBC, and UOB. We are going to see if the sea of red is a sign of a sinking ship or just a temporary wave splashing over the deck of an unsinkable fortress. Think of a circuit breaker like the electrical DB box in your HDB flat. If you try to run 3 air conditioners, a water heater, and a vacuum cleaner all at once, the trip switches off to prevent the wires from melting. The SGX circuit breaker does the same. It stops trading for a set period when prices drop too fast, usually 10%, giving everyone a chance to breathe and look at the actual math instead of the flashing red lights. So what does this mean for you? It is a safety feature. It prevents you from making a limit down mistake in the heat of the moment. It is the market's way of saying, steady lah, go buy a kopi and come back. Quick pause before we get to the core of the math. Let's talk about you. You aren't here for the kopi tips or the hype. You're here because you want to understand the forensic truth before you commit a single dollar of your capital. But here is the uncomfortable truth about how the algorithm works. It doesn't know you are watching carefully. It doesn't know you are thinking critically. It only sees one primary signal, whether you've hit the subscribe button. Every forensic investor who watches without subscribing is effectively invisible to the machine. If my work has ever helped you identify a risk or calculate a margin of safety, hit that button now. It isn't for me. It's to tell the algorithm that data-driven SGX analysis deserves a seat at the table alongside the noise. Now, let's get back to the numbers. When the market halts, the first question isn't how much did I lose? The first question is, will this company exist on Monday? For the Singapore Big Three, we don't look at the share price, we look at the CET1 ratio. This is the concrete foundation of the bank's bomb shelter. Look, as of the latest March 2026 data, the Big Three maintain an average CET1 ratio of 15.2%. To break that down, DBS is at 14.7%, OCBC at 15.8%, and UOB at 15.1%. Now compare that to the benchmark. Over the last 5 years, the sector average has hovered around 14.2%. We are currently 100 basis points above the historical safety norm. Understand, this isn't just good by local standards. Compare this to global systemic banks like Citigroup at roughly 13.4% or European giants like Deutsche Bank at 13.8%. Singapore's banks are carrying significantly more loss-absorbing capital than their Western counterparts. If the Singapore economy enters a technical recession and non-performing loans spike by 10%, these ratios would likely dip to 14.4%, which is still miles above the MAS regulatory requirement of 6.5% to 9.0%. For a 50-plus investor managing CPF and SRS funds, this 15.2% CET1 means the risk of a bank run or total capital loss is statistically negligible. Your principal is backed by an iron vault. Imagine you are a hawker stall owner. Your CET1 ratio is the amount of cold hard cash you have locked in a safe at home compared to all the money you've lent out to customers who promise to pay you tomorrow. The higher the ratio, the more bad customers you can afford to have before you can't pay your suppliers, right? It is your sleep at night metric. If this is high, the bank is safe even if the economy has a stomach ache. The average CET1 ratio of 15.2% and the NPL coverage of 212% show a sector that is overcapitalized and ready for a rainy day. This isn't a house of cards. It's a tuas mega port built on deep sea pilings. While the retail crowd is staring at a frozen price, I am looking at that 212% NPL coverage. That is a forensic iron bastion. It means for every dollar of bad debt on the books, our banks have already set aside $2.12 in the cupboard. They aren't just prepared for a downturn, they have already paid for the funeral in advance. If you are selling because the ticker is red, you are ignoring the most robust balance sheets in ASEAN history. Don't be the uncle who sells his HDB because the lift is under maintenance. The bottom line is the price is moving, but the floor is solid concrete. During a circuit breaker, the yield on your screen is a lie. If the price drops 10%, the displayed yield jumps up automatically. But is that yield organic or is it a capital refund masquerading as a dividend? We audit the fuel, not the flame. We must compare the bank's dividend yield against the current risk-free rate. According to current market data, the 6-month Singapore T-bill is yielding approximately 3.0% to 3.2%. For our forensic threshold, we use the CPF special account floor of 4.0% as the true risk-free alternative for retirement funds. Let's do the math on the risk premium. Risk premium equals asset yield minus 4.0%. For DBS, a 5.9% yield minus 4.0% gives a spread of 1.9% or 190 basis points. OCBC offers a 6.2% yield, meaning a 220 basis point spread. UOB sits at 6.0%, a clean 200 basis point spread. A spread of over 150 basis points is our forensic threshold for taking the risk. Currently, all three banks are clearing that bar easily. This means you are being paid a significant bonus to endure the volatility of the equity market compared to just sitting in your CPF special account. Free cash flow is the money left in your pocket after you've paid for the groceries, the utilities, the kids' tuition, and the HDB conservancy fees. In banking, we look at distributable earnings. If a bank pays out more than it earns, it is like taking money from your CPF ordinary account to pay for a holiday. You feel rich now, but you are eating your own tail, right? It tells you if the dividend is a gift or a loan from your future self. With a projected 2026 dividend per share of $2.30 and a payout ratio of 54%, the banks are keeping nearly half their makan for themselves. This is the ultimate safety valve. Is the payout organic or engineered? Look at that 54% payout ratio. Most US banks are struggling to keep their ratios below 65% while maintaining growth. Our boys are paying you a handsome dividend and still keeping enough cash to buy their neighbors. This isn't a yield trap, it's a yield floor. When the market halts, the yield looks higher, but the ability to pay stays the same. If you like the asset at 5%, you should analyze it at 6%. The math hasn't changed, only the mood of the crowd has. Here's the kicker. This is a harvest, not a haircut. Is this a bargain or a value trap? In a circuit breaker, everyone thinks the world is ending. The forensic auditor thinks about the price to book reversion. Historically, Singapore's banks have a max pessimism floor at a price to book ratio of 1.0. When the market halts, we check. Has the price crashed through the floor? Or is it just sitting on the sofa? Look at the regional context. OCBC at 1.13 times book and UOB at 1.09 times book are hovering dangerously close to their historical floor. Imagine a coffee shop. The book value is the total cost of the tables, the coffee machine, the chairs, and the cups. The price is what you pay to buy the whole shop. If the price to book is 1.0, you are buying the business for the exact cost of the furniture. You are getting the actual business, the brand, the customers, the secret recipe for free, right? A price to book near 1.0 is like buying a Rolex for the price of the gold inside it. Even if the watch stops ticking, the gold is still worth the money. Look at that UOB price to book of 1.09. This is what I call the kopitiam discount. In a normal market, you pay a premium for Singaporean stability. In a circuit breaker, the market forgets that Singapore isn't a random emerging market. It's the regional vault When UOB approaches 1.0, the market is essentially saying the bank's future growth is worth exactly $0. That is a statistical absurdity. I don't buy the fear, I buy the furniture when it's on sale. The bottom line is the big three are approaching valuations that historically have offered strong margins of safety. But data is only useful if you have the tools to act on it without getting eaten alive by fees. That's why I use Longbridge. Right now, Longbridge is the only platform in Singapore offering lifetime $0 commission for US, HK, and SG stocks. It's smarter investing, plain and simple, though do note that terms and conditions as well as other fees apply. Their data visualization is also some of the fastest I've used, which is critical when you're timing an entry in a market this fast. But data, since we are discussing cash flow and dividends, Longbridge has just launched a massive CNY campaign. Gallop into the new year. If you've been waiting for a reason to switch to a lower fee platform, this is your signal. Here is the what factor. Every Singapore resident can claim a sure win angbao with a grand prize of up to $888 in cash coupons. Just click the link in the description, open the red packet, log in and open it again to reveal your reward. You can even earn more angbaos by sharing the luck with friends. For new users, the total sign-up offer from Longbridge is worth up to $1,370. This includes free shares subject to terms and conditions, and an exclusive 5% interest boost for 365 days on your first $2,000. As a dividend investor, a 5% boost on your idle dry powder is a fantastic way to generate returns while you wait for the market to give you the right entry price. Check the link in the description for the full terms and claim your angbao while the campaign is active. This sector aligns with our safety first pillar under different macro conditions. We use the 5-layer rule to project the what-if scenarios that the panicking crowd is too busy to calculate. In a bull case, where the Fed cuts rates slower than expected and NIM holds at 2.15%, we see a fair value upside of 16%. In a bear case, where a trade war intensifies and NIM is compressed to 1.85%, the downside is only 7 to 10%. Because we are starting at a price to book near 1.0, the downside is cushioned by the asset value. The upside, however, is uncapped when sentiment returns to normal. I checked the Investing Pro fair value model, which removes human bias by aggregating over 10 financial metrics. It currently shows the Singapore banking sector trading at an 11.8% discount to fair value. Look, wealth isn't about being brave during a crash. It's about having a portfolio structure that makes bravery unnecessary. If the sea of red made you want to vomit, your first task isn't to identify which stock to acquire. It's to assess whether your current asset allocation matches your actual ability to sleep at night. Understand, for some, that means moving capital into T-bills or the CPF floor until the heart rate slows. For others, it means recognizing that volatility is the price of admission for long-term compounding. The data doesn't tell you what to do. It tells you what is true. What you do with that truth depends on your age, your income needs, and the thickness of your fortress walls. Let's sit down and talk like adults at the void deck for a moment. The sea of red and the circuit breaker are designed to trigger your lizard brain. It wants you to protect the tribe by running away. But as a forensic auditor, my sleep at night score is not dictated by the color of the screen. It is dictated by the 25% concentration rule. No single sector should dominate your net asset value. The bull case is simple. Singapore is the Switzerland of Asia, and these 3 banks are the gatekeepers of that capital. They are profitable, overcapitalized, and paying a meaningful risk premium over the CPF floor. But the uncomfortable forensic truth is that interest rates are normalizing. The easy money of high NIM is fading. The banks will have to work harder for their profits in 2026 than they did in 2023. We are seeing a compression in NIM already. That is the leak in the pipe that every investor should monitor. For an investor focused on margin of safety, the current valuations of Singapore banks offer a wider yield spread than we have seen in years. The CET1 ratios remain fortress strong, and the NPL coverage provides a cushion against economic shocks. For an investor applying price-to-book analysis, when ratios approach 1.0, historical evidence suggests much of the doom scenario is already priced in. The question isn't, will the bank survive? The balance sheet says yes. The question is, does the valuation match your personal risk tolerance and time horizon? For an investor building a fortress portfolio, the yield spread over the 4.0% CPF floor is a useful forensic tool. It isn't a direct recommendation, but a way to measure whether you are being adequately compensated for equity risk. Right? The circuit breaker gave you 10 minutes of silence. Use it to ask better questions. Does my portfolio pass the 25% concentration rule? Am I being paid enough yield spread to justify the risk I'm taking? Is my sleep at night and score higher than my FOMO score? Those are the questions that matter. The ticker will turn green again someday. When it does, the uncles who use the red to audit, not to panic, will be the ones buying the next round of kopi. Stay disciplined, stay paranoid. And remember, the exchange might close, but the data never stops talking. If you want to see exactly where the bodies are buried in these balance sheets, you need a tool that shows you the plumbing, not just the price. That is how you survive a market halt. That is how you stay elite. Terms and conditions apply. Other fees apply. Interest boost coupons can be applied to cash plus subscriptions only. Disclaimer, this video is a paid partnership with Longbridge Singapore. It is intended for general awareness and does not constitute investment advice or a recommendation to buy, sell, or otherwise engage with any investment products or financial services. The presenter is not a licensed financial advisor and is not offering financial advice. All views expressed are solely those of the presenter and do not necessarily reflect the view of Longbridge Singapore. All investments carry risks, may not be suitable for everyone, and you may lose your investment principal. Past performance is not indicative of future results. You should seek independent financial advice if you are unsure about any investment decisions. This advertisement has not been reviewed by the Monetary Authority of Singapore.